It's the Vancouver Canadians pregame show powered by North Beach Agency. Tyler Zickel with you, and we have a very special guest, none other than Mr. Phil Clarke. Phil, welcome to the pregame show. Happy Tuesday as you guys get set to take on those dastardly Everett Aqua Sox. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Tyler. Doing good, well rested after the off day. I think the boys are ready to get after it this week.
Let's jump right into it. I want to talk about the boys first as a unit and then get into some of your recent successes. Obviously, it's been less than an ideal last 6 weeks, though, a really tough part of the schedule. Again, playing a lot of the Everett Aqua Sox, who, in my estimation, that's a double-A team that they're throwing out there with some of those guys who need to be out of the level and up to double-A. But from your perspective, and I know you spent 10 days out of the lineup dealing with that thumb issue, thanks to our friend Zach Deloche, who will not be with the Aqua Sox anymore. What's been your overall vibe of the club over this last 6 weeks, 2 months or so?
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of new faces, a lot of old faces leaving, guys getting their opportunities to go up to Double A, and I think that minor league baseball is tough in that aspect where you don't really have the same team you started with ever. The first week we lost guys, but I think we're getting to know each other. We're building that chemistry back up, and I think we're on the right track for sure. I think we're going to finish strong.
Certainly been fun to watch. Nice way to finish as well on Sunday in that series against the Hops after, those 4 games could have gone either way, especially that one on Saturday night. A little bit of a heartbreaker, but certainly a great opportunity to turn the page this week. Now, would love to dig into some of yours recent success. You and I had a chance to chop it up outside the buffet table near where you're at right now, in fact, and you told me you were feeling really good, really refreshed after being forced out of action due to that thumb issue. So how you been feeling? Sure, we can talk about what's been going on the field, but how's the mental, how's the spiritual, how's the emotional right now?
Yeah, it's great. Sometimes you just need a little refresher, and mine just happened to be forced on me. But minor league baseball full seasons are definitely tough on the mental game, and with baseball being a game that demands very very high mental abilities. It was nice to get off the field for a little bit, as much as it did bother me that I couldn't be out there with the guys, but it was nice to kind of figure some stuff out mentally and get back into the present. I the first half of the season, I would say I was analyzing a lot, putting a lot of pressure on myself, but I think I'm in a good spot now to just try to help the team win and try to really have a fun summer.
You came out like a rocket once you got back into the starting lineup. 3 hits and then a multi-hit game the next game. That first time you'd ever had 3 hits in a game this year, and you did so with ease, and you seem to continue to be rolling. Any adjustments made, or was it just that mental refresh that certainly contributed to your recent success at the Dish?
There were definitely some physical adjustments that I had been working on before the injury that I was really excited that I got a couple weeks to refine without, necessarily having to forge them in fire on the field. But I would definitely attribute it more to the mental adjustments I made, and just kind of releasing that pressure that I had been feeling, and just going out there and trying to have some fun. That would be the biggest key I would tell you is I'm just trying to have fun out there now.
It's a game after all. It's easy to get lost in
Absolutely.
that, the day-to-day grind, as the cliche goes, but there's no other way to describe it. And speaking of a grind, a professional catcher has to wear it even more than his teammates do throughout the field. You've got to be focused every single pitch. You got to manage not just a starting rotation, but the entire staff. So for you in your first full season of pro ball after becoming a part of the Blue Jays organization in 2019, and of course we all know what happened last year, where does that balance come from? Is there extra study? Are there opportunities to connect with the pitchers to create that bond, since you are doing the lion's share of the catching, split with Ryan Gold and Andres Guerra for sure, but you are the A1 catcher because Goldie can certainly be a little bit more flexible around the field. So for you, how do you balance the responsibilities of wearing the tools of ignorance every day?
Yeah, I think that's definitely my first priority is making sure that those guys are comfortable with me behind the plate. I was fortunate enough to spend some time with Danny Jansen in spring training this year, and he really opened my eyes to the importance of that and the importance of preparation. And in a league with 6 teams, it's been a little bit easier
Mhm.
to prepare and do my research and have a feel for some guys. But at the same time, I'm thankful that it's a few team league for my first full season, because it makes it a little bit easier to just be able to practice that and make that habit of doing my research and making sure those guys can trust me, because that's the biggest deal for those guys is trust. So if they can trust me and the pitches I'm calling, and they can trust it's over in the dirt and I'll block that ball, things like that, it makes things go a lot smoother on the defensive end. And then offense is just, that was my biggest point of growth, was I only cared about offense for my whole baseball career until, Danny helped me out a lot and just kind of put my priorities in the right place. So, it's been different this year, trying to really be a wall back there and be someone reliable. But yeah, it's definitely fun being involved in every pitch and being involved in the offense and the defensive side a lot.
Shout out to Jano. We love Danny Jansen, not just
Oh
here with
yeah.
the C's, but across the Blue Jays system. I got him my first year with Double A New Hampshire. He was a treat. His parents are a treat as well. So glad you guys had a chance to connect, because the dude, my goodness, what a talent, and certainly a great guy to look up to.
Yeah, he's a good one.
We're talking with Phil Clarke, Vancouver Canadians catcher here on the Vancouver Canadians pregame show. I want to talk about your baseball pedigree. Go back to your Vandy days. I talk about it a lot on the broadcast day in and day out. I think I mention your collegiate career more than anybody else's collegiate career when everybody comes up to the dish. I have a couple of photos that I wanted to show with you, and I'm just going to do it really low tech style, just off my phone. One
Okay.
of these, actually, I think both of these I pulled off of your former teammate and current teammate, sort of, Austin Martin's Instagram. Of course, he's with Double A New Hampshire these days. First of all, great photo here. Not sure if you can see it. Can you see what I got up there? Okay. Can you tell me what's happening here? We got you off to the side, kind of inspecting the leather. Looks like Coach Corbin making a pitching change there in a big moment. What's happening in that picture?
Yeah, that definitely looks like a pitching change to me. So that could be a great start, or it could be we're in the middle of a jam. I'm just staring at my glove, like, come on, get me through this. Cause it looks like we're in Omaha too. So,
right.
I'm probably 50% there, 50% having an anxiety attack. But what you might not see is 3 Blue Jays in there too.
I see Austin Martin. Who else do we have hiding in
We
there?
got Harry Ray in there.
Harry Ray
with Low A Dunedin right now.
Future Vancouver Canadian.
Yes, future Vancouver Canadian.
I got one more from Omaha, and this one we know what was going on here. We got the dog pile. You're probably at the very bottom. You can't be.
I'm at the very bottom. Yeah, no oxygen down there.
So, yeah, that's my question. Having never been a champion, although I was a district champion as a 9-year-old Little League All-Star. That's the only dog pile. Thank you so much, San Diego, Hamul, California, represent. You must be stoked, but then you also have to be concerned for your well-being at the bottom of that pile. You want to be able to celebrate and stay healthy.
Yeah. So I've been fortunate enough, to be on the bottom of a few dog piles in my baseball career. And I always tell people, winning championships is really fun 30 seconds after the final out. But those 30 seconds from the final out to getting up out of the dog pile is miserable for me. It's great and all, but man, you can't breathe.
I can only imagine. And you were a big part of why that dog pile happened in Omaha back in 2019. You had a terrific final series against Michigan. You had a clutch hit in the SEC tournament as well. Can you talk a little bit about what life as a Vandy boy is like under Coach Tim Corbin? Because from an outsider's perspective, it seems like the Vanderbilt baseball program is these days the premier collegiate program on the field and off. It just seems like it's a big league organization at a institution such as Vanderbilt, which of course we know is a great one even off the field. So what do they teach you there when you become a Vandy boy? What's that like to grow as a player in that program?
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is, and that's the term Vandy boys is you get there and you're not really Phil Clarke anymore. Like, you're part of that team and you're part of that organization, and you're doing whatever you can to help those guys around you become better and win baseball games. So that's the coolest part, and the biggest difference between that and pro ball is it's so much less about yourself there. And I think that's why they have so much success is all the guys are so bought into that. And just the aspect of the team is something that is definitely held to the highest standard. And those guys will be my best friends for life, just because of all the things we went through together and the practices and the games. And, we were fortunate enough to play for a really long time, but even if we hadn't made it that far. It's just the culture there, and the team is the biggest difference I see between that program and other colleges is how much we value each other and how much we try to win for each other.
And the uniforms, oh my gosh. I mean,
Absolutely,
dude,
the
though
uniforms.
that might be the finest look, not just in the college game, but across baseball, especially those jerseys in that first photo we were taking a look at, just so different and so Vandy.
Yes, yes, so different, very Vandy. Yeah, that's what they go for sure.
Not sure if I'm allowed to do this as not a member of Vanderbilt Nation, but is the anchor down? Is it the three? Is it the three fingers? Bang, just
Yes,
like that, right?
just like
Forever
that.
and
You're
always.
natural,
Oh,
exactly.
thank you so much. I can fake it till I make it. I want to leave you with this because we got to get you to the weight room here so you and Tommy can get to work on some lower body today. But I'm going to apologize in advance for asking this question. Okay. I'm
Okay.
sure you've been asked this every which way by anybody in the media or outside. Your sister Jessica is going to be the future Mrs. Ben Higgins, and many people know Ben because he was on The Bachelor. Now, I'm not a fan of The Bachelor, though. My girlfriend
Oh,
Kate,
come
she's a
on,
big
come
fan,
on.
and so now this
That's what
most
I
recent
always hear. It's
season,
always my girlfriend.
okay, touche. I kind of bought in most recently. I was watching, I forget the guy's name, and now the new series is going on. So I'm watching it as a third party, but you're going to be a bachelor-in-law almost. So is Ben a good guy? Can we tell all the ladies out there that Jessica got a good one?
Yes, yeah. Ben's a great guy. He's my golfing partner now. I don't think he's gonna get out of that one for a long time.
Right.
But yeah, he's a great dude. A little skeptical at first when I found out he was on The Bachelor, but the first time I met him, I was like, all right, this guy's great. He's perfect for Jessica. Yeah, I'm very excited for them.
Awesome. And hey, way to serve your brotherly duty. I have two younger sisters. I know Jessica's older than you, but you got to be skeptical. You got to make sure they pass the eye test and then continue to be solid dudes because we got to look out for our sisters in this world.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
You gotta be a good brother.
I hear that. Well, thanks for appeasing me on that question. Good to know. And let's leave it right there, Phil. Let's get you to the weight room. As always, thanks very much for joining us. And most importantly, let's continue to roll both for you individually and for the C's as a team.
Let's do it. Thanks for having me, Tyler.
That's Phil Clarke, Canadiens catcher, joining us today on the Vancouver Canadians pregame show powered by North Beach Agency. More after this on the Sportsnet Radio Network.